Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Greg. I'm on a language learning journey. I've been on this for about 4 years now, learning Italian, and I just want to share that experience with you guys, share some of the tips that I've learned over the past 4 years. Today I want to talk about the natural method, natural method of learning a language using comprehensible input. This is something that a doctor named Stephen Crashing came up with years ago, and it's a method that I've been using, and I think it is so effective, and I want to talk to you a little bit more about that today. Ma prima volevo iniziare questo video di parlare in italiano perché per me, soprattutto quando ho iniziato a guardare i film e quando ho visto una persona parlare in due lingue, ho pensato, questo è fantastico. E volevo iniziare a imparare un'altra lingua perché ho pensato che questo sarebbe fantastico. Ovviamente questo viaggio è stato molto lungo, ma anche molto divertente, molto interessante. So, okay, back to English. Watching some of those videos and seeing somebody, a person like me, who grew up only speaking one language and then later in life decided they want to start speaking another language, and they've used this method and use this method to learn 2 or 3 or 4 different languages. When I watched those videos, I thought I have to do this. This is something I need to do, and it's a long journey. It's not something that's overnight, but it's not difficult. It's not hard. And I heard it said the other day, learning a language is not like a math problem. You don't learn how to do something and then it's a light switch. You've learned it and then you move on. This is a lifetime journey. You're always learning. When you're studying another language, you're always going to be learning more. You're always going to be improving on that language. So please don't think of it as something that, okay, I'm going to spend a little bit of time on and finish up and I'm fluent and then I've got it. So anyway, I want to talk more about the natural method and what that means, what it means to use comprehensible input. And the natural method is really just the way that you and I learned our native language when we were kids. We started out at 0, and you're just taking in all that information. You're listening to your parents and your friends and other people speak the language before you can ever actually speak it yourself. And you do this for almost 2 years before you start to then express yourself verbally. And when people say that, well, kids learn languages quicker than adults, this actually isn't true. Kids learn languages because if they're learning it every single day, all day long, for 3 to 5 years before they actually start really talking and making full sentences and speaking in a way that anybody can understand, it's taking them almost 5 years, and that's not 5 years of learning an hour a day. That's 5 years of getting that information all day long, 12 hours a day or whatever. So using comprehensible input, and again, comprehensible input is just information that's not too far over your head. And again, using a platform like YouTube, using something where you can watch somebody read subtitles in your native language and listen to the other language, the target language, and go back and listen to it again over and over, your brain is going to put those pieces together. Your brain is going to be able to figure out and process this just the same way you did as a kid. You did it back then, and you can do it now. Some of the best things that I could recommend, some of the best things to watch that I would recommend, for me personally, watching YouTube videos on travel, watching YouTube videos on people discovering other cultures, that was so interesting to me. So again, when you're going into the natural method, you want to pick topics that are interesting to you. You want to be able to listen to this information over and over and enjoy it. You want to enjoy the process. So Again, if you like cooking, then watch something on cooking. If you like sports, watch something on sports. There's a ton of information out there just on YouTube that's free. With me, I love listening to travel. I love listening to people's experience. So there's two things that I would listen to. I'd listen to Italians that would just be sharing their everyday lives. Just that they would have a YouTube or a podcast channel, and this wasn't them teaching you, sitting down and saying, "Okay, we're going to go over these grammar lessons today." There's certainly a lot of those videos out there, and you can use that too. But for me, it was just more interesting listening to people just talk about their everyday lives. The other thing that I found really interesting was foreign exchange students, Italian students that came here to the US, and they talk about cultural differences, they talk about food differences, and it's hilarious. It's great. It's good. It's entertaining. And you get to learn about their culture because they talk about the differences and things that they found strange when they came over here, things that they found interesting, things that they thought they were going to hear or see, and it was just a stereotype that wasn't true. Some stereotypes are true. So this information was really fun. I highly recommend that in whatever target language you're learning. Try to find students, foreign exchange students who are coming from that country, coming into the U.S. and learning. I would recommend always listening to people that's their native language, because while sometimes it was entertaining for me to watch Americans going to Italy, they did pick up the language, they were speaking it, but obviously that's not the language they've been speaking since they were a child. So they're going to make mistakes. If you're trying to learn from what they're saying, you don't want to learn things that may not be correct. So I know with me, when I speak, there are things that I say that I will find out from my tutor later. And she'll say, "No, we really wouldn't say it this way." She'd say, "This isn't incorrect. Obviously you could say this to anybody. They would know what you're talking about. It's not incorrect, but it's not the way that we would say it." So I highly recommend listening to native speakers in your target language. And again, find that material that you like, find what you think is interesting. And this is going to make all the difference in the world. I would recommend in the beginning listening to just 2 or 3 minutes with the English subtitles, going back, listening to 2 or 3 minutes again with those English subtitles. And once you start processing what they're saying, then go to the subtitles in that target language so you can at least see what the written language looks like. And again, the more you do this, if you do this 5, 6, 7 times and then move on to the next 2 or 3 minute clip, you will be surprised how much you are picking up, how much you're understanding. And again, it just becomes fun. It's such an amazing experience when you listen to something for the first time and you don't need subtitles. I can listen to just about any YouTube channel and not listen or not look at the subtitles. And but there's always going to be times where I don't catch something, or there's a word that I don't know yet. So it's still useful for me to use subtitles. I'll still watch a 20-minute video, and without subtitles, and then go back and read the English subtitles, and there's always things that I'll pick up. So I find that it's again, no matter how long you're studying, there's always things that you can learn. And I know as I'm speaking, I make mistakes. You're always going to make mistakes. You're always going to make, again, you may not be saying it the way a native speaker would say it. It may not be incorrect, but this is part of the fun. And this is when you start once you get to that point, you start speaking with a tutor, you start talking to a native speaker. Those are the exchanges that are fun, when they say, "Oh yeah, well, we would say it this way." And you do the same thing in English. They would say something in English, and you say, "Yeah, that's not incorrect, but this is the way we would say it." So anyway, again, the natural method, for me, it has been a lot more fun than sitting with my head in a textbook for an hour a day. It's been enjoyable. I've loved this journey. I learn stuff every single day. So highly recommend start that method, and let me know in the comments how you're doing. Let me know if you enjoy that method. If you haven't subscribed already, please do that, and we'll see you next time.